It's a beautiful day when there's new Starfield news to be had.
Up everyone, I've just woken up, but we've got to make a video about this because honestly, it is one of the craziest stories that I've seen come out of Xbox in a fair while. According to a journalist on Xbox Era, apparently Microsoft is planning to bring Starfield to the PlayStation 5. Let me just repeat that for you because I'm not quite sure you heard me correctly. Microsoft is planning to bring infamous Xbox exclusive Starfield, literally Bethesda's biggest launcher game of all time, has sold so many millions of Game Pass subscriptions. Microsoft is planning to release it on their biggest competing platform, the PlayStation 5.
Okay, let me explain how absolutely monumental and tremendous this is. If this is true, that proves everything that we have said about Starfield right for such a long time. That it is absolute shit, okay? Xbox is trying really, really hard to get a bunch of games that people want to play on their platform because Xbox just doesn't have games that people want to play. Everyone who wants to play games is buying a PlayStation currently. It's just absolutely the truth, okay? There's nothing you can do about it. And the fact that Bethesda has made such an absolutely horrible product. It doesn't matter if it's sold well because it was expected after the absolute tremendous juggernaut that was not Starfield but Skyrim, right? Dude, Microsoft just giving up on Starfield means that they expect it to maybe sell 5 copies on PlayStation because that means that the data is in. And the data means that Starfield is like the worst thing ever. And first of all, where are people getting this idea that Starfield is selling Xbox Battle Passes or whatever they're called? Game Passes. Where are people getting this absolute stupid notion? Everyone on Xbox already has lost, I don't know, 300 euros dollars a year and is claiming, oh, I'm saving money by having a Game Pass. No, you aren't. The average person plays like 1 or 2 free games per year on Xbox and has the subscription running for a whole year. Almost no one saves money on the Game Pass. If Xbox was losing money on the Game Pass, do you think a Game Pass would exist? No, it would not. Because they would not want to lose money for no reason. I would be shocked if Starfield even sold 10 Game Passes. Because it was that bad, it was that visibly bad, and when it launched, everyone knew instantaneously, wow, it's actually that bad, huh? So yeah, not happening.
Did I just wake up in an alternate universe? Like, what the hell is going on here? I'm going to go through this article, tell you everything you need to know, and then I'll go into my thoughts because I have a lot of thoughts. And let me be clear, all right, I even brought the bloody controller. I have a PlayStation 5. Personally, I don't care. I don't care that people potentially are going to be able to play this Xbox exclusive, right? It's no sweat off my back.
Oh, really? He's not... Look at that. A person who's not insane that Xbox doesn't have exclusives. I don't understand the console war. First, I don't understand why you own a console. Are you like fucking stupid or something? On a PC. The next generation consoles that are going to come out are going to be already 10 years behind the current PCs. Have fun, pleb.
I literally do not care.
And now, buying a new console every 2 to 3 years is not exactly more expensive than buying a PC that's going to last you 10 years.
Yeah. What I don't understand is Xbox's strategy anymore. I really don't. I made a video about this with HiFi Rush recently, and I was like, yeah, it's just HiFi Rush. It's fine. Maybe it didn't sell enough. This is Starfield, your biggest exclusive. Anyways, let me go into this article. It is in the description below. It is titled, Exclusive, Microsoft Plans Starfield Launch for PlayStation 5. It starts off by saying, for many weeks now, rumors have persisted regarding Microsoft's intentions to release a number...
Yeah, essentially this is the same situation when Blizzard put Diablo 4 on Steam. It's a complete admission that the game is just doing horribly, because you would never put it on a different platform if it was performing well. It's just not a decision you make, because when you put Diablo 4 on Steam, you don't have the advantages of their own launcher. And every gaming company wanted their own launcher for their games for a very simple reason, because they probably had multiple games. When you want to play Diablo 4, guess what you get? A Call of Duty advertisement. And hey, it works. It works. Sooner or later, someone's gonna buy it because of the advertisement. It's just free money making, essentially. So, for a big gaming company like this, to put something on a different platform than their own is just such a huge admission of defeat.
Of first-party games, namely HiFi Rush and Sea of Thieves, on rival platforms. According to our sources, who have asked to remain anonymous because they were not authorized to talk about company plans, clearly you weren't, that list of games also includes Bethesda Game Studios' Starfield. They go on to say later, now it looks as though Microsoft are planning on bringing Bethesda's newest RPG universe.
Bro, I literally just can't. From 0 out of 10, how happy do you think Microsoft is with their... How much did they pay for Bethesda? 8 billion? How much did they pay for Blizzard? Yeah. Do you think Microsoft is currently really happy and smiley about their acquisitions in the multi-billions of these companies that literally produce shit that everyone laughs about? Man.
Universe to an entirely new platform, PlayStation 5. According to sources, we understand that currently Microsoft are planning a launch for Starfield on PlayStation 5 post the release of the already announced Shattered Space expansion for Xbox and PC, which is on target to arrive at some point later this year. We've also been informed that Microsoft have made additional investment into PlayStation 5 dev kits to support ongoing development.
As far as I know, we know nothing about Shattered Space, but it's gonna be bad. Obviously, it's a Starfield expansion. What do you think? It's suddenly gonna get good? And it's written by the same genius, absolute gigabrain, who already wrote your existing Starfield dialogue and thought that these storylines are good. And then went on Twitter and defended his takes and called everyone stupid and not writers and all of that jazz. Their Shattered Space is going to be amazing.
Development efforts, adding further fuel to the fire. As the already existing rumors have suggested, the idea of bringing first-party titles to competing console platforms marks a massive change in strategy for Microsoft, and from what I understand, it's not been without fierce internal debate on this new direction. Releasing Starfield on PlayStation 5 contradicts the original statement around exclusivity made by President of Xbox, Sarah Bond, during the Xbox and Bethesda Game Studios Summer Showcase of 2021. And they also include that quote. This is where Sarah Bond said, "It is awesome to share with you for the very first time one of the most anticipated games in the world from Todd Howard and the team at Bethesda Game Studios, a groundbreaking game, and yes, it's exclusive." And then they go on to say in the article, according to our sources, Microsoft senior leadership have reportedly debated the various pros and cons of releasing more of their exclusive software elsewhere. And internally, not everyone is necessarily happy with the decision, but recouping the potential money left on the table by not releasing elsewhere has arguably won out. According to sources, HiFi Rush's release on rival platforms is tentatively planned for Q1 this year, and we've been advised to expect Microsoft to make a more public announcement on this new strategy this month. So, where the hell do I begin with this, man? As I said, I made a video about HiFi Rush recently, right? About the rumors that game could be coming to PlayStation and to...
I don't even know what HiFi Rush is.
...competing platforms, including Nintendo Switch, mind you. Now, I don't think Starfield was going to be able to work on the Switch, but that's beside the point. When I talked about HiFi Rush potentially coming to competing platforms...
Bro, Starfield can't even work on the PC. What do you mean on other platforms? Do we need to introduce 100 new bugs?
I thought that could make sense because, yeah, maybe HiFi Rush didn't sell all that well. It wasn't one of Xbox's biggest AAA exclusives, right? It was arguably a smaller game. It was a shadow release. It did really well for Xbox at the time, but as the days have gone on, as the weeks have gone on, maybe they realized they didn't recoup enough on the investment that they would have liked. Maybe they wanted a bigger margin on that game. Maybe Tango Gameworks, responsible for the game, asked Xbox for a favor and said, hey, can we release this on other platforms because it didn't sell as well as we would like? Or maybe we didn't make as much money from it because it was mainly...
They probably didn't ask for favors that could possibly have been in their deal. Because again, no one in the gaming industry, as much as I understand, is under any delusion that Xbox is the place where you make your release to get a lot of money. It's just not.
Picked up on Game Pass, right? So when it came to that game, I was like, you know what, that makes sense. It didn't necessarily concern me or worry me or anything. But this is Starfield, right? This is literally Xbox, one of your biggest exclusive games on the platform. You acquire...
Also, your worst exclusive game on your platform. How about that?
ZeniMax, for $7.5 billion. And now I'm not going to say, oh, you just acquired them for Starfield. Of course you didn't. You acquired them for their talent, for the studio.
I have never seen this. What is this even supposed to be, by the way?
For their IP, for Elder Scrolls 6, for Fallout 5. There are some really big titles out there that are much more important.
What is this? What is this supposed to be?
Big titles out there that are much more.
Also, why is a child just allowed to run around the launching pad like it's not a big deal? If you want a cooked child, then, I mean, sure, go ahead, but questions?
Important than Starfield, let's be honest here. But Starfield was absolutely part of the equation.
Also, what the hell is the point of a barrier like this? Okay? It's a see-through barrier, it looks like. Which doesn't make a lot of sense if you want something to actually prevent prevent debris or whatever. That's not really probably that effective. And if it's supposed to be a see-through one, why is a little child able to just peek past it that easily? You see what I mean? Starfield makes no sense at any point.
Be honest here. But Starfield was absolutely part of the equation. Starfield was going to be one of your biggest exclusive launches on Xbox.
Bethesda fans just jizzed themselves when they saw that transition. Wow. Remember when someone did the dominoes with the sandwiches and every Starfield fan globally lost their minds because the game has physics, guys. Have you seen the game has physics? Yeah, so did Oblivion.
For this generation, for Series X and S. What is going on here? Yeah, I understand some games going to other platforms, but you've got to keep some of your biggest titles exclusive. Because why the hell would people want to buy an Xbox anymore? Like,
well, that has been a problem for a very long time, huh? Now, the console watch seems strange to me because I'm pretty sure everyone knows that PlayStation has won it. You know, the PS has 100% won it, and that's undeniable. It sells more, it has more games, and PlayStation doesn't complain about these things. You only hear it from Xbox's side that they have trouble with this, trouble with that. You never hear it about PlayStation. So, you know, it makes sense.
I'm so torn about this. Like, what the hell? I don't even own an Xbox. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I feel really bad for those of you on Xbox that can only afford one platform. And you're like, well, why the hell have I bought an Xbox? Why didn't I buy a PlayStation? Because clearly they're eventually going to get all these other Xbox exclusives. And at the same time, I can enjoy all these PlayStation exclusives that will never, ever, ever, ever come to Xbox. PlayStation, Sony, they wouldn't just never do that. Nintendo would never do that
Hell
either.
Yeah.
But Xbox has completely changed their tune. I get, like I said, that they're a software company at heart. They want their stuff and their games and their software.
See, that's the thing. Sony, in heart, makes tanks and microchips that blow up African villages by Obama drones. That's what Sony is in heart, in all honesty, if you did not know. Okay? There's a difference. Microsoft is the losers who's trying to make the next AI god that's gonna govern humanity. Sony's literally making the stuff that's gonna nuke the world out of oblivion. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Software to be experienced by as many people in the world as possible. That has always been at their core what they are as a company, right? But this contradicts everything, and maybe their strategy has completely changed since the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, right? Because they had to be in court constantly with the FTC saying, this isn't about exclusives, this is about growing and releasing more games to more people, and we're not going to take away Call of Duty from PlayStation, we're not going to take away all these games from other consoles. Has that changed their tune so much that they have to completely pivot on their original acquisition of ZeniMax Media? Like, I don't, oh my god, what the hell? Now I need to say
I don't actually know too much about that part of the conversation, but hey,
like, this is obviously not confirmed. This is not official news, so take it with a grain of salt. And this might still be a plan. Maybe they're planning to do this for HiFi Rush. They'll see how it goes, and then for Starfield, yeah, they'll decide afterwards. But I'm seeing other people on Twitter, which have sources within Xbox, that are like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not surprised by this. I think more people know about this shit too, and they just haven't been able to corroborate the sources until this journalist on Xbox Era. If you are like a hardcore Xbox fan, I need you to let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because I actually don't understand this one. I genuinely don't understand this one. Because why did you acquire ZeniMax in the first place? Was this meant to be about exclusives? Like, let's put aside the fact that you said this game was
Palworld?
Was exclusive. From day dot, it's exclusive. Sarah Bond said that. I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer said that. Todd Howard absolutely said that. You said to people that this is exclusive, that on console, this is going to be the only place that you can play Starfield. That is what you said. So number one, you're contradicting and you...
Well, to be fair, every company lies about this. Every company has a... Well, they don't have a backup plan per se. Well, I don't know if they do, but I'm assuming they don't. But obviously, every company says this with 100 full understanding that at any moment they can change their tune. So this is not a big thing. Every company is going to say everything's an exclusive always, and everything's going to be the best thing in the future always, because guess what? That sells consoles. Guess what? That sells Game Pass subscriptions and makes the money. I mean, there's one thing you should understand from Todd Howard by this time, is that lying works.
Going back on your earlier statement, if this is true, hypothetically, if this is true, you would be contradicting your earlier statement. So how can people trust you moving forward on anything that...
I'm sorry, if you have been alive for more than a year and you trust these companies, that's on you. That's your problem. And no one seemingly can help you.
You say anything, whether it's this game is exclusive or we're doing this or doing that, how can people trust what you say publicly anymore? Plans obviously change, but that was a very definitive and firm statement. Starfield is Xbox exclusive and it's staying that way, right? How can people trust what you say? That's number one. But number two, what is your strategy now? Are you literally just never going to sell consoles anymore? Have you given up that fight? Because I think you need to be super clear about this. If they are announcing this month, great, because a hell of a lot of clarification
obviously not
is needed. It was needed when people were thinking, oh, is HiFi Rush exclusive? And it was needed when people were wondering if Sea of Thieves was exclusive. But now with Starfield, your literally biggest title, that apparently was their biggest title on Game Pass too, from last what I saw.
Yeah, because Todd Howard probably just lied to Microsoft and they gobbled it up. They probably thought, wow, Todd Howard, he's making the future of gaming right here. Oh my lord, it's gonna be amazing. Did you hear the things that he said? 500 times the detail. Endless possibilities. 500 times the... I don't even remember what he said, but it was 500 times something more. That's amazing. Bro, imagine Todd Howard actually just sold that BS to Microsoft and they were like, wow. There's no way this guy's insane enough to lie to us about that, right? Bro, Todd Howard holds the Guinness World Record for never in his life saying the truth. Bro, we don't even know if his name is actually Todd Howard. He could be lying.
Like, you got to tell everyone about this as soon as possible, because I don't now. Secondly, I don't understand their strategy. I don't, because are they purely becoming a software company? Are they going to become just like a publisher and they'll never release Xboxes again? Because why release Xboxes anymore? Why? Like, are they going to that
Oh, you saw that? That was mommy for a second there. Oh, from Avowed. Oh, man.
Everyone that has a TV is going to be Game Pass available on there. Everyone that has a phone, you can play Game Pass. And all your games, your Xbox exclusives, eventually going to come to PlayStation and might come to Nintendo if you can support it. Because if that is your strategy, why have an Xbox console anymore? If people can play your games on PC as well.
I mean, I have been saying that for a very long time. Why even have an Xbox?
What need is there for a console? Because we all know that you already lose money. Typically, you know, console developers, they lose money per unit on consoles, right? And they make back the money on exclusives and console sales and obviously game.
Yeah, that you see that? That's mommy. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely lovely. What a woman.
Console sales and obviously Game Pass and etc.
I'm buying Avowed just because of her.
So why release something that you're losing money on if you're not even going to bother keeping some games exclusive to that platform? I understand HiFi Rush. I understand other games that...
Theoretically, what do you think, boys? Is it smarter to keep a bad exclusive game for yourself, or is it smarter to give a Trojan horse to your enemies? I think it's smarter to give all your shitty games to the other platform, so you dilute their quality of games overall. Because think about it, a lot of people don't know what they're buying. How often have you looked at a game and thought, I don't really know what this is, but it kind of looks good. And a lot of people are looking at Starfield and thinking, oh, I want to actually try this. And then they play it and it's a disaster. Then, getting Starfield on PlayStation, honestly, Giga Chad smart, because it's a giant Trojan horse. It's gonna make people think that the PlayStation games are bad because of Starfield.
that weren't as big, they need to recoup their investment and their development money. But Starfield clearly was successful, guys. It was still in the top Steam sales of all time. Not of all time, but for Bethesda, it was in top Steam sales. It was doing really, really well. And you still had it...
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's good. It doesn't mean that it makes... Dude, because of Starfield, people are now looking at Elder Scrolls 6 and they think that it's going to be bad. And I have seen so many comments. People comment this often when we talk about Starfield and the effect and its effect on the future of Bethesda. There's a lot of people who are now no longer excited for Elder Scrolls 6 and who will not just insta-buy it because of the absolute disaster of Starfield. The Starfield has made people lose so much trust in Bethesda. It's insane.
On Game Pass, so it was clearly doing numbers for you on Game Pass. Clearly, it's made its money. It's made its money for sure. Tenfold, it's made its money back. Are you telling me that Starfield suddenly needs more money? Are your margins that razor thin? Why don't I understand this? Maybe it's because I just...
Yeah, it's a shitty conversation. It is what it is. Anyway, that was our boy, Lone Vault Wanderer. Damn, that's right. He recently became a full-time YouTuber, by the way, so it is what it is. Go help him out, check him out, and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, all of that good stuff. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.